Moed, Moed,
Good night.
Moed,
Good night. Good night.
Moed. Can we? Yeah, it's Moed, Moed. They're still davening in the shir room, so we'll give the shir over here.
Oh, okay.
There's us noshim. If you're wondering what is the background. Okay. Melton in the Gemara on Daf of Beitza and Beis, the last few words. Omar Rabuda al Gabi Gecheles also, the last 5 words of Daman. Omar Rabuda. We spoke about putting levoino, frankincense, so like a certain perfume, yeah, to have a good smell. Leoriach, legamer means to come to have a nice smell for the clothes. Leoriach means that it should have a nice smell. Stamazo, it should have a nice smell. And we said that also to come to put the levoino on top of the gecholim, on top of the frankincense, on top of the coals, to come and to smoke the fruit. The fruit should have a nice smell. So comes Rabbi Yehuda and says, Omar Rabbi Yehuda. So Rabbi Yehuda comes and says, Davke al gabe gacheles osu, to come to put the levoino in order to come and to smoke, to have a nice smell of the peiros. Why? Because he's coming and now he's doing kibui. It's a kibui, right? When he comes, he puts down the levoino on top of the gecholim. Straight away, what happens? A drop of the coals goes off, right? It distinguishes the thing, and then starts a new avore of the levoino itself. And this is not a davar hashave lechol nefesh. That's what Rabbi Yehuda says. Al gabi cheres. Now, coming says al gabi cheres, but to come and put the levoino daf chov gimel amud aleph. Al gabi cheres, to come and put the levoino on top of the clay. That's going to be muto. Why? What's talking about al gabi cheres? Al gabi cheres is sikoi. Rashi says. Because coming and doing avore and you want to kibui and avore. Yeah, avore is coming and doing, making a fire. Avore from the heat of the cheres, of this clay, is not really called the avore. It's called the avore, but it's the avore b'shinui. And this is called the avore, as we always call it, kle'achar yad. Shinui, kle'achar yad, the same idea. It's called the avore kle'achar yad. Avore kle'achar yad is not also min ha-Torah, it's not also min ha-Deraisa, it's only also min ha-Rabbanon. Just because we want to be matir with the Rabbanon, the Hanoi for Yom Tov, so they are matir to come to do it, afilu if it's a isu, or because even though it's not shovel lechol nefesh, because still it's only a isu the Rabbanon, it's only a isu kelachar yad, will be muter. V'Rabbi Omar, the Gemara v'Rabbi Omar, al gabi cheres nami osu, mishum deko moilid reiche. What happens over there? He says also, Isu Moilid and Yom Tov, right? He's Moilid. And Moilid is also, Noilad, we said, is also Isu on Yom Tov. Also in Yom Tov, there is Isu Moilid. And over here, in the Cheres, right? The thing. The Rashi says, because exactly as Rabbi Eli said, now where is Moilid? Says Rashi, Shenichas Bes, yeah? Shelo Yoyo Bereya. Ve'omrano she'amoilid over Chodosh, Korov le'oisem meloch lechadosh. Rashi says something interesting. That's the problem of Moilid. He's korov to do a new melocha. He's creating something new. It's not that he will come to do a new melocha. He's creating something new, and that's going to be a problem of coming and doing Moilid in the Cheres. So the Gemara. Rabbe v'Rav Yosef d'Amret Arvayu. Schufe kase ashiroe beyoyim tov also. They're coming to put a cup. Schufe kase means a cup with perfume inside. Ashiroe, what's ashiroe? Shiroe is always called silk, right? Big day meshi. It's called shiroe. So they come and they put over there the cup of with the perfume on top of the like the clothes. This silk. So it's going to be also on Yom Tov my time. So they go, oh, mishum lekomoy lidreichen. That means in the silk, right? In this big day meshi, in this shiroe, is moili the new reya. Right? The Gemara umaish no moile lo yimriach boy vekoit mo yimriach boy. What's the difference? We said now someone is doing moilid, right? It's moilid, a new smell in clothes, coming and putting on it the clothes. Or coming and putting over there, right? As we said, moilid is also on cheres. What's the difference if someone's coming and doing moilid differently? He's coming and he's putting over there this perfume on he's moilelo, he's coming and putting it with his hands, yeah? He's coming and rubbing it, and by coming and rubbing it, he's smelling it. Or coming and taking off a little bit from the tree, whatever he's smelling, and then he smells it. There's also moilid of a reach. And for the Gemara, no, it's very differently. Why? Awesome. Over there by Moilel, yeah, someone comes and rubs at his hands the wood of Besamim, the tree of Besamim, Reiche Mioise. That means the smell itself is there. It's inside these herbs or this meat or whatever it is. Yeah, it has a nice smell. What he does he's just coming and bringing it out by rubbing these leaves. He's basically bringing out the smell that was always existed there. But like coming over here, asufe, by coming and putting over there a cup, right? Asufe. He's adding over there a reach that was never there by the clothes. He's putting in a new reach in the clothes. Okay, says the Gemara. Says Rashi because Ashiroy lichpois kois mebusam al Ashiroim shel malbush leachnis bo in reach haboisim shel bekois. That's gonna be also the komoilid reach b'shiroim. Ma'ishlo mi moile loy meriach boi detanye v'bishilin gabe atzi b'samim moile loy bein etz beoiso. כדי להוציא ריחוי, או יקוית מי שיהיה מוקם מקטים לך, that means it should be moist. ונויס ריח, או בתלושים קומיירה. So why it's going to be mutter over there to come and rub the hands, the leaves to come and bring out the, it's also bringing out the reach. So he said that's not called a moilit. That's not called a moilit. It always existed over there, the reach. Yeah. Log the Gemara. So just, okay, let's see another stick, and then we're going to go back to the reach and oichlin. Log the Gemara. Rove Omar, al gabi gacheles nami mutor, to come at the smoke, as we said, to put over there, the levoino, al gabi gecholim, in order to be me'ash in the peiros, to come and give a good smell in the peiros, is going to be mutar. Why? Midi de ave abisre agumre, the same like you're allowed to come to roast meat, allowed to roast meat on top of coals, yes, but the same thing, also the comment, the smoke, the peiros will be dover hashovel chol nefesh. The same like coming and roasting meat is a dover hashovel chol nefesh. The same thing also coming and speaking peiros is a dover hashovel chol nefesh. Memegoston, even though is over over meloch of kibui and avore. Dorash rav gvir mi bei kosle apische de bei reish galuse. Kture shore. Now he darshan, but he didn't explain what he darshan. So he darshan, yeah. Dorash rav gvir. The place was called Bei Kosil Apitche de Bei Reish Galuse, on the gates of the Reish Galuse. Kture Shore. What's mean Kture? What's the mutter? Was is das mutter? Zog the Gemara. Omar le Ameimar, my Kture. What is Kture that you are matir? Ik Kture Beyode. If you mean over here Kture, that these are things that in the sleeves there's a little bit crumbled, and what they come, they iron it, and that's going to be mutter. He says that can't be that's going to be mutter to iron the sleeves. Why? Because Maise Umenu. This tikkun, what you do now in the beged, is a Maise Uman. And any tikkun, what's a Maise Uman, is also to do in Yom Tev. Mitzad Meloches, Makeh Bapatish. Right? This is a Makeh Bapatish. So Zichar Zayin also. Ve'i Le'ashen. And if you're telling me Mitzad coming and putting a peiros in Yom Tev, also, why? Deko Mechaber. Right? The fire. He's putting the levoina al gabe de gecholim. What happens straight away when he puts the levoina al gabe de gecholim? Straight away, what happens? First of all, it starts with the kibui, meleches kibui. Says the Gemara, "Ve'i Omar le Ravashi lo ilom." Memes, he was matir over there leashen. It was just matir over the leashen. But what in peiros not? Why? Because he al that what that ishun peiros is davar hashovel lechol nefesh, as we said the whole time, and because the davar hashovel lechol nefesh was zayin muter on yom tev. Why is going to be also? Meat the ave a bisra guma, the same like you could come and roast the meat on top of coals. The same thing also you could come and smoke the peiros. And shovel chol nefesh, the same thing as shovel chol nefesh. Iked amre. Omar le amema. Mike what the chaktura iktura beyodei ma'isa umani. Ile ashen also the komoilid reiche. That means if he has ktura beyodei, that means the comment, as we said, to iron the sleeves, that's a Maisa Uman, and Maisa Uman is also on Yom Tov. And if you're talking about over here coming and giving a nice smell into the Peiros, it's moilit because the Pri didn't have till now the Reach, and these moisi now a Reach in the Omar Avashi, Ano Amrise, Nehalei, I said this in front of Rav Grieh, Umishmei de Gavera be Amrise Nehalei, and I told them the name of a great person. Ule Oilam, what they're talking about over here, Le'ashen. And Le'ashen means to come and to give a good smell in the peiros. That means why it's going to be mutar, because it's a davar hashover l'chol nefesh. The same thing like coming and roasting meat is a davar hashover l'chol nefesh. The same thing also coming and roasting, and also coming and giving a good smell for the pri. It's a davar hashover l'chol nefesh, and it will be mutar. Yeah, if it's oichel nefesh, I have to cook. Sure, moilid is going to be our last problem if it's oichel nefesh. It's a davar hashover l'chol nefesh. Once it's not davar hashover l'chol nefesh, now what is the problem? So we can come and say this, that thing. So let's talk 1 second about this din of reach b'oichlin. So we saw over here, we started the shir today with in daf of Beitza with base, right? So over here is the sugya of reach b'oichlin, what's called reach b'oichlin. So Rav Yehuda comes and says al gabi cheres will be mutar, right? Al gabi gecholim to put the levoino, the frankincense, the smell is going to be also. Al gabi cheres will be mutar. Rabbi says al gabi cheres will also come and be also. Why? Because the isur of moilid. Now Rabbi and Rav Yosef, as we've seen before, Rabbi and Rav Yosef, they say both of them that they come to put the cups, right? The cups that have inside perfume, and to put it al gabi the shiroh. Shiroh is big day meshi. It will be also. Why? Because he's moilid reiche. Now the reason why it's also. So Rashi, as we saw over there, moilid davar chodosh koravu leoise meloche chadosho. We're back in Rashi before, and the same thing also Rashi says very similar to this, that he's moilid keilu, he's doing a meloche chadosho. Rashi says the same thing also in Shabbos daf nun aleph amud beis. And you're not allowed to come and to crush ice. This is Dr. Rashi. You're not allowed to come and to crush ice. Why? Because he's moilid in Shabbos. Rashi says v'dome lemeloche sheboire hamayim oilu. Very similar. That keilu is keilu. And it comes out a lot of communist halacha from this. We're not going to go in halacha, kamuvan, as we never do. Try not to. But we're just going to be in the ikra dvorim. The machloikas rishonim over here, what Rabbi said. Rabbi said that, right, al gabi cheres, it will be also, right, Rabbi Yehuda said al gabi cheres will be mutar, and Rabbi said al gabi cheres is also. Why? Because the moilid reach, and as Rabbi said, we saw in Rashi, moilid reach becheres, right? That's what we saw. Moilid reach becheres. That is the shita of Rashi. It's like very nice, as you said. This is the shita of Rashi. The Ra'or says not like Rashi. The Ra'or comes and learns that he's moilid reach in the peiros, in the cheres, in the peiros. Now, why Rashi didn't write moilid reach in the peiros? Why Rashi wrote this moilid reach? Shenichnas becheres shelo yeh reach. What? But the Rabbi is taka also. If you talk about moili, there was never there reach. Right? So it should be also in the peiros. If it's moili. So the Achronim explain very interesting. It starts from the Sharamelech.
Nefesh, no? In the peiros of Sambil Holy, it's Nefesh.
Oh, so let's say let's explain the thing. The Sharamelech kind of brings a very interesting ma'alach. The Sharamelech is in Elichos Yontev and Perek Dalet. Dr. Azri. He brings a machloikes aposkim. The machloikes aposkim, if there is a isur oiloda oiloda sreach boichlin, what's called. There is a isur b'chlal coming doing no reach and oichlin. The Mogen Avram, the Taz, and Ilchos in the end of Siman Tov Kuf Yud Aleph, both of them say that you're not allowed to come and do to give a smell and oichlin. There's a isur reach and oichlin, and they said over there, for example, they speak over there, levasem mayim lerechitze. Person is coming and doing a nice smell in the water because he wants the rechitze. He says it's also. Now, what was then? They talking about over there coming and the Yomtev, the Koyanim doing Birkas Koyanim. Oh, very good. So there was Taka, the thing, rose. It's called they put the Mevradim. How do they call it in English? Rose petals water. Yeah. So they would come and wash the hands of the Kohanim. Should be nice, yeah, with this type of thing. Says the Taz. That's what he's talking about over there. Yeah, says the Taz and the Mogen Avram Tov Kuf Yud Aleph that osur levasem mayim letzorech netilas yedei hakoyanim. As a doctor, you're not allowed. Why? Mishum moilid reach. As a paskin the Mogen Avram in the Taz. In the water, yeah. Now the Chassid in Simen Tzadik Beis, he says, no, it's mutter. Why? He says very poshut. Ein hoilo das reach boichlin. Very poshut. That's it. Says the Shara Melech. What's the thing? Zok the Lapidem. Rashi had gehalten that is no hoilo das reach boichlin, and that's why you have to come to moilid reach bu in the cheres. But Rashi says the moilid reich shenichas becheres, because in the oichlin ein reach boichlin. It's like many melachos of Shabbos we know there's no oichlin, right? Yeah, mihuach. And oichlin. There's many melachos that you're allowed to do, right? There's you do egg salad, all kinds of things, right? So there's many things that there's no. By also we're gonna come and say, Pasha, there's no by oichlin. Shtokin reach boichlin. The Rao, he said like Rabbe that it's also because moilid reach bepeiro. So he alt nazoivi be that yes reach boichlin. That's why you don't have to count the yes reach becheres. It Pasha there's reach boichlin.
Don't we say reach ein bo mamash?
Reach is ein bo mamash, yeah.
So how can it be moiled with something that's ein bo mamash?
But you're definitely doing something over here. You're doing a melach. You could come and say that I would say that kol mare v'reach ein bo mishum meila. If someone doesn't have mashmiya koil on Shabbos, you can say it's ein bo mamish. Lemais is mashmiya koil. It's the isur of shmos koil on Shabbos. Also koil we say ein bo mamish. I don't know if the ein bo mamish has to do with the isur melacha. I say koil mare. If we take, for example, probably the svara you're coming from is koil mare v'reach ein bo mishum meila. Right? Mare reach koil ein bo mishum meila. Koil is also ein bo mamish. He's still going to come in there, going to be also to do Shmos Koil and Shabbos.
Yeah. Said with don't we say with on Pesach you're allowed to smell bread because ein bo mamash.
Yeah, because the reach itself, but creating the reach, you're actually doing a melacha. You're right, the reach ein bo mamish, and for example, for Meila also, the Yisurim and reach. But I just wanted to bring this a little bit in to go into it because it's mamish nogeya to Nyona de Yoima. Because there's only need the achronim about hoilodas reach shalom miskaven. When a person doesn't have a kavanah, there's a big machloikas in the poskim. The Ramo in Simet Tov Reish Nun Ches Seif Beis, the Ramo comes and says, "Osu leoniach esroig, right? Al gabei beged mishum shemoilid reach bebeged." That's what passes the Ramo. So if a person comes home on Yom Tov, he puts the esroig where al gabi the beged, and the beged now gets a good smell from the esroig. That's going to be also because he's moilid reach bebeged. So that even though he's not miskaven, as is mash of the Ramos. The Ramos is mash that the Isur of Reach Boichlin is a feeling when he's not miskam, it's still going to be a Isur. But that brings the Yam Shloime. As I bring the Mogen Avram over there. A fact of them because Einer miskaven, right? Double Shein miskaven is mutter. We pass that it's mutter, and where he's not miskaven to come and to create a new Reach. Yes. So and also he says he doesn't have a kavanah. Doesn't have a kavanah for Reach. Doesn't have a kavanah v'reach, so that's why he disagrees over there on the din of the Ramo. But this is also something that's negay a little bit aloch lemaisa today. You're right. If someone puts the esrog, you shouldn't put the esrog directly like my comment.
Maybe there are more mints only when it's kavone.
Oh,
It says before it's not. Maybe there are more
Sorry?
mints. Maybe there are more mints where there is kavone. No, I don't. I haven't seen inside.
As I fragt, the Mogen Avram didn't understand. The Mogen Avram fragt that it's doch eine miskaven. Is any miskaven to come to do moili dreach in the bag?
No, somebody put the esrog on the bag because he wants the bag to have I haven't seen it inside, but I could have learned the Ramah that that's what he wants to do.
But I think that the Mogen Avram wants to learn from our Rashi. It's mashma afilu be'enim miskaven. Now he has a kavanah to be moili dreach becheres.
Awesome.
He doesn't have a kavanah to be. He wants to come and to smoke the peiros. He's putting it on gabiches. How he's going to come and smoke this perfume? Yeah, these herbs. Heating up the clay, the cheres, very hot. Putting on the cheres now a bit of these herbs. and now it's going to smoke the, right? Now he has the kavanah that the cheres should have a good smell or not. He has no kavanah. I think the Moglavon wants to bring a guy from Unzer Rashi. I think, I don't remember, I didn't see the Moglavon today, so, and also yesterday. So I'm not sure.
But here, all to do with smell. If the cheres has got smell, it will give out smell in the room. If the cheres will absorb smell, it will give a smell in the room. So if you go this way,
we talk about hoilot das reach sheloi miskaven. That's our.
Who said this was coming? Maybe again. You talk about people like this reches. So it's in such a way it gets a cheres with the reach and it gives reach in the room. Who says it's not miskaven? It's part of the process. What it does.
He does have a kavanah over here of coming and.
Could be. Doesn't say that he hasn't.
Well, the cheres itself is a sick ratio, isn't it? You can't help it. When you're putting the smell on there, the stuff on there, you haven't got a choice. It's going to happen anyway. You can't stop it. So it's a sick ratio, isn't it? So the question is whether it's allowed or not.
Also, by Esther, you say psik ratio, the same story.
With what? Sorry.
Also, by the Esther, you can say it's a psik ratio.
Yeah, probably.
If people like smells, whatever they do and the smell comes out, they're happy with it. It's part of what they're doing, part of the job.
Yeah. I'm just gonna, what you say?
About what we learned here about cheres, al-gabe cheres muta, and we say that it's going to be burning the psomim. So say it's no issue of burning if it's not direct fire. If you put something on a blech and it burns. There's no issue of of mavhir. Not about bishul now, but eish.
Yeah, but it's no problem of coming and doing it on the. This is it's only klach hayad because it's beshinui. We said it's beshinui. Coming and warming up from a cheres, it's beshinui, and that's why it's going to be klach hayad. It's going to be mutar.
So if somebody puts a piece of paper on the Shabbos blech and it burns and the fire comes out, it's beshinui. It's not avor of the rice.
That's not the derech, yeah. Again, today it's the derech bishul shebekach, yeah. So
not bishul. I'm talking about
Okay, yeah. We're really wrong. What do you want that? Yeah, but it's coming, yeah. Yeah, נכון. That's a good problem. So it could be that's the Ramos. Yeah, the Ramos is definitely speaking about that. He's happy about it. That he has now a nice baguette. But just one small thing, there's a very big chiddush in the Beis Yitzchok. Beis Yitzchok brings interesting chiddush. He wants to bring from our Gemara, from our sugi over here. You're not allowed to switch on a light on Shabbos or on Yom Tov because the Isur of Moilit. He says, he's talking about over there in Yehudeya, Chelik Beis Simon Lamed Aleph, very interesting Beis Yitzchok. He says that it's going to be also the Kam Yitzchok Shmeltis was Godel Bedoiri. He says that it's going to be because Hoilotas Zem Chashmal will be also on thing. Okay, we're not going to go into it now. Very interesting. Yeah, that's now our shit. Let's continue weiter. We're going to weiter. We're going to be Mekulos. Yeah, the Mekulos as we saw yesterday in Rashi. Mekulos, why it's called Mekulos? Because like clay Zainoi Olof. Tanya Rabbi Yossi Yoimer. Tudus ish roimi. Hinig es bnei roimi lechol gdim Mekulos beleile psochim. Sholchu lei. How you send them? Ilmolei tudus ato. That means you're chochem, you're a great person. Gozranu olecho nidui. Shato machil es bnei Israel kochim bachut. As more kochim sal kedai doch veche kochim. Eleima ke'ein kochim. Because they're going to come and have a mistake that you see that he's machil keilu is machil kochim bachut because it looks like the way they used to be making the Korban Pesach, and he's doing it bisman hazeh when there's no Korban Pesach and he's eating it outside of the Beis Hamikdash. Look the Mishnah. Shloisha dvorim, Rab Elazar ben Azariah Matir v'chachomim oisrim. The first thing, what we come to is a Mishnah what we learned already in Shabbos. Parosoi yoyitzo beretzua sheben karneo. That means the Paro went out in Shabbos Rosh Hashanah. There's over there a retzua ben karneo. What was this retzua sheben karneo? It was for beauty. For beauty. Now, Chachomim, They are not machshiv this Ratzua is noi. What they are machshiv is maso. Maso is going to be chayim. Atu behem techo, right? There's a issue. Second thing. Mekadrin as abeim abeyom tev. Mekadrin means mekardin. Sorry, not mekardin. Mekardin means to scratch. The thing what's called the migredes, right? It had of there like a comb. It's made of metal. Comb was made of metal. And they would come and scratch the beima, even though you might come and do a chabura in Yom Tov. You might come and do over there, hurt the beima and do a chabura in Yom Tov. Rab Loza ben Azariah, as we said, was matir to come and to do this thing. The third thing, the sheichakin is a pilpelim berechaim shalem. You can come and crush on Yom Tov. Even the tchina, as we said, toichen you can't do in Yom Tov. You're allowed to do toichen in Yom Tov. Why? Because the fee of Loza ben Azariah, the melach of tchina, it was mutter to do on Yom Tov. It's mutter to do. You can see in the Gemara. Rabbi Yoimer, you cannot come and scratch the beima beyom tev. As we said, you can't come and scratch the beima with a comb of metal. Why? Because you might come and do a chabura. Obel mekartzefin. Avol mekartzefin. What means mekartzefin? Mekartzefin means with a comb that's made of wood, and that is less chance to do a chabura. Not with a comb of metal and not of a comb of wood, as we can see in the Gemara. We can see in the Gemara. Dr. Rashi in the Mishnah, Poroso Yoitze b'Shabbos b'Rutzur shemikarneo lenoi ve'omar Rabbonon masayu ve'ein itach shiklo mekardin after b'magredes shel bar shelo dak yudaf al gav dov yitchabure berechaim שלהם, כן, אויסם שלנו, מקרצפים, במגרדת של עץ, ששינאו גסס, ואין אויסה חבורה. That's what's going to be mutter to come to do. And again, לגבי שביסס באימה, right, as we spoke about the day, the Rab Loza ben Azariah, Chachomim came and said, it's also, פרוסו יויצא ברצו שבקרנeo, שלא ברצו Chachomim, that's the lotion of the Mishnah. Yeah. Now, just going to mention a very short thing about the Achronim over here, have a big shaila. Women, are muzar b'shvisas be'ima or not? So Kiva in the beginning of Bamei Isha, right? It says that because the Mekor of Din of Shvisas be'imto, we learn out from the Asay of Leman Yonuach, right? It's a mitzvah Asay Shazman Grome. Mitzvah Asay Shazman Grome, Noshim Turois. That's Kiva Eger. Shchenosoi. Oh, so the Chorah there's a raya over there because the Gemara says Shchenosoi Shirab Loza ben Azariah. The min chaschen of take proves as in the mitzvah lamed base, and for sure women also because the lotion of the mitzvah is chenosai.
I thought women were mechuyev for all mitzvahs asay on Shabbos.
I think it would be best if you were.
I thought women were obliged for all mitzvahs asay on Shabbos.
Because so Rabbi Kiva is bringing from the Ran. The Ran says in Kol Kisvei that anything in Shabbos we do a hekesh noshim le'anoshim, the same way like we do the hekesh zocher l'shomer. And that's why, right? The Ran speaks about over there, legabe a woman of chayav and gimel sudas. Because any mitzvah say of Shabbos, noshim are also going to be chayav. Yeah. So the shaila is if it's this is called the mitzvah asay that the beima should come and be shoyves, or it's called the isur asay that the Torah came and said only a lashon of asay. Okay. Let's see the Gemara right. Let's try to finish the paper. So the Gemara. Lemeimre, the Rab Loza ben Azariah chod the pora avili, right? The Mishnah looks like porosoi. He had one. Ve'omarav ve'amre omarav v'yudo tleisar alve igle ave meiser Rab Loza ben Azariah edrei kol shate ve'shate. Means Rab Loza ben Azariah would come and give 13,000 agolim meiser be'ema. Meiser be'ema you give when? Every year. The machloikis in the Mishnah and Rosh Hashanah, Aleph Elul, Aleph Tishrei, right? The machloikis when you give meiser be'ema, so you have to give only the ones that were born this year. Only the ones that were born yesterday. Every year will give 13,000. The Tosis goes into something very interesting, as we spoke about the Shurim and Pleiras. If Manazariah lived with Zman Abayis, he didn't live with Zman Abayis. לכאורה, is no meiser beime, shaloi bizman abais, the mevatel, chachol mevatel, the takon of meiser beime, shaloi bizman abais. So, what's the chat over here? Okay, talking more about it. Tane. So the he didn't have only one cow, he had lots and lots of cows if he gave every year 30,000 of just meiser beime. Says the Gemara Tane, loi shelo yoiso, elo shel shchento yoiso. Because he was not moiched that that she's going out to the Ratzur Sheben Karneo, Nikres al Shmoi, and that's why it's called after him because he was not moiched. And the Yerushalmi says, "Lo Paroso yoiso, elo ishto yoiso." Yerushalmi. Yeah. Okay. Log the Gemara weiter. Let's see. Rashi, no, yeah. Okay. Look at the Gemara. We learned in the Mishnah about the din of kirud and kirtzuf. Right? Scratching the behemoth with a comb of metal or comb of wood. Says the Gemara, "Umekardin es habehemoth beyonter." Tonu Rabbanon. Ezu kirud ve'ezu kirtzuf. What's the difference between kirud and what's the difference between kirtzuf? Says the Gemara, kirud ktanim v'oisim chabura. That means the comb is, as Rashi said in the Mishnah, shineo dakois. That means it's the teeth are very small, and then maikam fine, the pins, like pins, and then you're going to scratch them. But kirtzuf, it's made of wood, the comb, and gedoili ve'oisim chabura. No, but it's also thicker. It's not so fine, so it's not gonna. It's only gonna scratch, and it's not gonna do a chabura. V'sholoish machloikes badovo. Oh, so we're gonna see. V'sholoish machloikes badovo. Says the Gemara. Rabbi Yehuda Sovar, dovo she'eini miskaven also. Miu. Kirud ktanim v'oisim chabura. And that's why, even though he's eino miskaven to do a chabura, right? Only to come and to clean it, it's gonna be also because this person, what he's coming and doing over there with the comb, he wants to clean the behemoth. He doesn't want to come and to scratch the behemoth to do a chabura. But Rabbi Yehuda said that Rabbi Yehuda says that davar she'eini miskaven is also. Kirtzuf is gdoilim ve'eino is chabura, and that's why it's mutar afilu lefi Rabbi Yehuda. Ve'lo gazrinen kirtzuf otu kirud. That's lefi Rabbi Yehuda. Second, ve'rabonon savre nami ke Rabbi Yehuda. That word davar she'eini miskaven also. Ve'gazrinen kirtzuf otu kirud, and that's why Chachamim come and say that afilu kirtzuf will be also. Rabbi ben Azari. Well, Rabbi Shimon Doma Dover She'eini miskaven mutar, and therefore ubein kirud bein kirtzuf shore. Why? Because he does no kavanah to do a chabura. So if Lemaisi is going to do a chabura with what? With this kirud, with this comb that's what? Fine, the teeth are fine, and it's for metal, we still don't care. Omar Rab Rove Omar Rav Nachman Omar Shmuel. Be'amre lo Omar Rav Nachman le Chudei. Rav Nachman said it himself. Halocha Rabbi Shimon. That what? The Dover She'eini miskaven is mutar. Sharei Rabbi ben Azariah. Right? That's what? The Dover She'eini miskaven is also Omar le Rove le Rav Nachman ve'lei memar halocha Rabbi Yehuda. Chachamim moedim loy. Why? If you have Rabbi ben Azariah, you have Chachamim. You should pass like Chachamim. Chachamim are moedim to Rabbi Yehuda that Dover She'eini miskaven is also. So why we pass like Rabbi ben Azariah who passes like Rabbi Shimon and Dover She'eini miskaven is mutar? Omar le, he answers him. Anoke Rabbi Shimon svirali. I pass like Rabbi Shimon, and that's why. I just think it is a raya, not because Rabbi ben Azariah passes like Rabbi Shimon, therefore I pass like Rabbi Shimon. I pass like Rabbi Shimon. That Rabbi Lezer Shimon is also passing in the same. Rabbi ben Azariah passing in the same. Also in this case of Dr. Rashi. Rashi dibo Masechet. במאי קוראים מפלגה כולו לישתה לגרסה ואוכל גרסה ממנו. שלוש מחלוקת בדובר רבי יהודה סובר דובר של מיסקאven אסור. מי הוא קירוד קטני ואויסי חבורה קירצוף גדולי ואינו איסי חבורה. We learn this גרסה נגמורה. ולא גזרי לקירצוף אותו קירוד. ורבונו סבר לי כרבי יהודה דאמר דובר של מיסקאven אסור וגזרי לקירצוף אותו קירוד. ורב לא זמן עזר סבר דובר של מיסקאven מותר. זאת רש"י. ופירוש. רבי יהודה סובר חבורה אף על גם של מיסקאven לא אסור. מי הוא? אך חשושה, this חשש what we have בקירוד, that he's going to come and do a חבורה, איסה. אילקח אין מקרדין, אבל בקירצוף, לקלה מייחש משום חבורה. Why? Because it's made of wood, and it's not so fine. ורבנו סבר, נמי כרבי יהודה, דובר שאין מיסקאven, אסור. ואין מקרדין, ומחמרה מיני, דגזרי קירצוף אותו קירוד. רב אלעזר סבר, Oil vein miskamen lechabure, אבל גם בזיני דמחמר שורה על כך אפילו קירות שורה. אני זה קידוח חבורה לא. ולא חקר רבשים ודומה גוי עוד מיתו כיסו וסרסו, the double shame miskaven is going to be mutar. This we're going to see mamish in on base about goyer odo mito kisa v'salsal. The machloikas, what Rashi brings over here, we can see in our base about this thing. Yeah. Okay. Before we start the Amud base, the Mishnah and Amud base. So as we know, the din of Kiltzu, what's going to be the din about is to be asked Kirud with the metal that the not fine, it's thick. So pashtas is going to be the same machloikas. Why? Because if we do a gzeira kirud also kirud or not. If we do a gzeira also kirud, so also we're going to do also the fine shinaim dakois. We're going to do also shinaim avos. If we don't do the gzeira, or mitzat sheni can come and say no. Of the gzeira from let's say migrede shel barzel to migrede shel eitz. Das nicht. But the comment, the migrede shel barzel, if it's thin or thick, maybe that you could do a gzeira. That's going to be the legabe kirtu. I think the etz cannot come in. Maybe that's going to be less because it cannot really come in scratcher, no, to do a chabura. The shaila if it does a chabura or not. If it does a chabura, it's or not. If it doesn't do a chabura, so it's going to be mutar. Yeah. Okay. Talk the Mishnah. הריחיים של פלפלים, דף חוב ג' עמוד בייס. Yep. Fine. הריחיים של פלפלים, תמאיו משום שלוישו כלים. משום כלי קיבול, ומשום כלי מתחס, ומשום כלי חברה. What's the pshat? Look Rashi. Tmeyo mishum shloisha kelim. Mekabel estuma al shem shloisha kelim. Nafkemine deina me'oz al chat shmomino. Tmeyo mishum idoch l'gmor mafarash lo. So the Gemara is going to go into it, but let's just a little bit speak about not the kelim, but also. Rechaim shel pilpelim is made of 3 different parts. Yeah, this is as we always spoke about the rechaim, right? So we have the rechaim shel yad, like the mortar and the pestle. Then we have a rechaim is like 2 stones. Now, Rechaim Shel Pilpelim was made of 3 different parts. Each one of the parts has a Shem Kli Bifnei Atzmai. Now, when we're talking about over there, Rechaim Shel Evans, that's all Mishnah and Kelim about. You see also if it's Nitmo, the Tachta without the Elyon without Tachta, because it's not called the Kli one without the other. It's all Shaila. Over here, when we're talking about the Rechaim Shel Pilpelim, is made of 3 different parts, and each one is called the Kli Bifnei Atzmai. And therefore, it's Tomei. Each one of them is Tomei Tumas Kelim. Right? We know a Kli, should a Kli 8 or non Mekabel Tumeh. Only if it has a Shem Kli, then it's Mekabel Tumeh. Right? That's to have a Shem Kli. And over here it has a Shem Kli. That means if the Rechaim become Tomei, it doesn't become Torah by being Mevatel one of the Shemois. Just what? When all of the 3 Shemois you Mevatel, then it's going to be Torah. What are the 3 parts of the Rechaim, and that's what we say. Kli kibul, kli matches, and kli kavora. We can see in the Gemara. So let's see the Gemara. Tane. We learned on the Beitza. Tachtoino. That means the lower part of the Rechaim. This is made of wood, and this is made of wood, but it's made of wood and it has a base kibul. Why? Because over there it's like something that to collect, right? You're grinding over there the pilpelim. You're grinding over there the spices, right? The pilpelim is a spice. And what happens? It turns into dust, right? Grounded pepper, wait, powder. Yeah, powder. Oh, that's the word. So it turns into powder. Where's I want it to go everywhere? And that's what you have over there, like a bowl that's made of wood. That's a kli. It's made of wood, and that collects the powder. So that is the first kli, as the Gemara says. Hatachtoino mishum kli kibul. And that's tumas clay eights. Tumas clay eights are only by kelim that have a base kibul, and not by pshute clay eights, right? That means that a kli that doesn't have a base kibul is not mekabel tumah. Over here, it's talking about that has a base kibul. Emtsois, the middle one is also made of wood. And over there, they would put the chvoro. The chvoro is, as we know, a sieve, right? Like a napo, chvoro is all of this type of sieve. And through over there, they would come and do the sinun. You see, they come filtering, or yeah, that means you have over there the pilpelim, yeah, the gargirim, it's called the peppercorns, yeah, the peppercorns. And over there, you can start to grind it. So over there, that is the through there goes in you just ground, yeah, goes through in, fine. So that's gonna be tome. Why? Or tume de rabbanon. Why only a tume de rabbanon? It has a base kibul? No, it doesn't have a base kibul, because anything what comes in goes out, right? It has over there holes. Everything what comes in goes out. Again, it stays a little bit over there, but it doesn't have a base kibul really. It's just a flat piece of wood. It has in it all kinds of holes, and doesn't have a base kibul. Now, as we just said before, a clay 8 that has no kli kibul, it's mekabel tumah. Nein, it's mekabel tumah. Over here, it's mekabel tumah only with the rabbanon mishum kli chvoro. And because the chvoro is similar to, as Rashi says, similar to arig, that means similar to cloth, so that's mekabel tumah. And that's why, because it's similar to something that's mekabel tumah min haTorah, Chacham came was metamer a chli chvoro. El yoino, the upper part of this what we call rechaim shel pilpelim, of that was made also of wood. Was also made of wood. Just what? They came and they plated underneath the wood, that over there they would come and crush the peppercorns. What they would come and put it with? Metal. Because that's the right. So even though the etzem kli was made of of wood, but they came and they plated it a little bit. They came and they did a tzipui of metal or matches. So because by coming and crushing, right, the matches, that's what comes in beds and crushing the peppercorns, and that's why it becomes tomei. Mishum zog the gemara mishum clay matches. Why? Because mishum clay matches. Because as we said, it comes and crushes. Dr. Rashi. תחתונו שמקבס אבק הפלפלים כשנו יפל דרך מקווה המחבור, משום כלי קיבול, שכלי עץ שיש לו בייס קיבולו, so that's possible is מן התוארץ מקבל תומה. אמצויס, שאם הכפס הסמיך בו משום כלי עץ לא ימתמו, דאין קיבול או קיבול, אלא חכום יגוזו תומה לקבור משום אורוג. אז בסדר, כוס אריג, שמטה. ואפילו אין אמיר בו שמתכס מתמו משום כלי קברו, ושלונו שמתכס ודאי תמה משום פשוט כלי מתכס. אז רש"י, ours, is for sure מקבל תומה, because ours is made of metal. But the talking about in the Mishnah is talking about, it's not made of metal, it's still מקבל תומה, because it's doing with the arig, and arig is מקבל תומה מדוי רייסה. ואליונו זאת רש"י, שמקדשים וקודשים בו הפלפלים, תמאו משום כלי מתכס. Why? משום כלי עץ לקל לתימוי, זה פשוטי תוירין. אלא משום ציפוי התחתון שהוא עיקר ועץ בוטל אצלי, because they come and they do a ציפוי of matches, they come and they crush the peppercorns, the pilpelin, that's what's מקבל from that. Yeah. Okay.
Is Rashi saying that if one of these three kelim becomes Tomei, all three of them automatically become Tomei?
Yes. Yes, all three become Tomei, and yeah, they become Tomei. Yeah. Now the lichoire, if we're asking over here, we learned in the Mishnah, right? If we go back to the previous Mishnah, Shloisha Dvorim Rav Lezman Azayim Matir Chachon Moisrin, and what's the third thing over there? We said V'shoichakin, right? The second thing, sorry, V'shoichakin, as we said, V'shoichakin is a pilpelim berechaim shaloim, right? Rechaim shaloim. And לפי רב לוזר בן עזריה, you're allowed to come and do שחיקה פלפלים מריחיים שלהם. Now, what's the issur? לפי חכמים. So לפי חכמים, the issur is only עובדין דחויל. Now, the shaila is, what's the issur of toichen? What's the difference of toichen when we said about coming and crushing chitim? Chitim is going to be allowed to come and be toichen? Chitim is also. It's going to be mutar. So Lefi Rashi, Meleches Toichen is also. Why? Because, again, we're going to mention what we can see in Matzah Shem tomorrow. This is the beginning of the Sugya tomorrow. Of Eshami Boid Yoim. And Tchinas Chiti, actually boy, but Tchinas Tavlin, see actually boy, because it loses the dam. The Ramban says that Tchinas Chiti is also min HaTorah. Why? Because it's a melocha leyomim rabim. Masha'inken Tchinas Tavlin is not melocha leyomim rabim. That's why it's going to be mutar. And if he toises, as we said, toises in right, very interesting. What he brings some Rabbeinu Nesan and Mikinoin. What only me lisha veilach is going to be mutar because we learn from Mushmar Temesa Matzos, right? And from when you have to come to keep the matzos, from Shas Lisha, you have to keep the matzos. So Achasher Yochel Lechol Nefesh is samuch to the din of Ushmar Temesa Matzos. Okay.
Where do we learn about Yom Rabim and not Yom Rabim to call him Melocha, not to call him Melocha? You learn it from somewhere. It's a svara.
The Ramban learns it as svara.
It's further than Melocha. It's not proper Melocha. It's not called proper Melocha.
The Tavlin is
Interesting.
As we said before, and right, that means he comes across it for the day. For the day. That's what it's going to be.
Interesting. Because svara is a shver svara. Melocha is a Melocha.
No, it's not. It's not for today. I mean, Melocha Oichel Nefesh, you're allowed to come to do Yom Tov.
From what Benny just now said. Sorry. From what Benny just now said, why should the top one make the bottom one Tomei? If a can Kali transfer Tumah from one to the other, if each one is its own.
Because it's called one Kli. It's called one big Kli.
Even though we just now learned that each one is its own separate piece. It's a separate thing, though. We just learned that each one is separate. So why should one touch the other?
It's the emphasis. It's a machlokes in the Rishonim. If you look at Tosfos wants to learn that way. If you look at the top Tosfos over here, so it says, "Mishum shlosh keli ve'im nit mozeh, lo nit mozeh, afilu b'shas melocha, shari kulon yachad, oy ve'kol echad roi lemelocha milvadoi, ve'dom lemisporai shel prokim ve'izman shereitni, do'asa chubor yoyso b'shas melocha." But as I learned Tosfos back then. Tosfos learned that way. Okay.
And the others learned it's a one keli. The Masechet does one function.
It's one
It's got
because
three stages of one function. It's one keli.
So the Gemara. Look the Mishnah. Let's see the Mishnah weiter. Agolo shel cotton. Now this agolo shel cotton is like a buggy. Now this buggy is not made stam a buggy for a thing. It's made for a game. Made for a game that they put over there, right? As Rashi says, they do it for him for a game. Come to be easier to come to push a buggy. Tameo medres. That means what's Tumas medres? What is Tumas medres? Tumas medres is what we know. What state a tume chamura, that the kelim that is prepared, right? It's miyued for sitting. That means a chair, cushion, a couch, a bed. Yeah, but if let's say someone's sitting on a table, it's going to be Tomei Medrash. No, because the people come and tell them, "Amoid v'nase." Oh, that's right. Amoid v'nase melachteinu. That means that's right. Anything what's roy lemishkav, yeah, or to come to sit or lemishkav or lemoishav. If the zov and the same thing, a nido, zovbo, yoledes, who come and sit on it or lie on it, so it's going to be covered to masmedas. But a kli that's not meant to come to be sitting on, or like a box that you open up, or a table, as they say that you're doing it to a certain job. It's not miyued lemishkav or moishav. So even if the zov sits down on it, it's not metame to masmedas. Again, it's metame isa avatumes, it's metame rishon. Now our mishnah comes and the tumas masmedas. The chiddush is that let's say your zav touches a chair. What's the chair is going to become? The zav is an avatume. What will become the chair? A rishon tume. What if the zav is sitting on the chair? Even more than that, I can tell you, he said that we put over there 10 chairs, and he sat on the top one. Yeah, these chairs, you collect, you put the one on top of the other. He sat on the top one, or 10 mattresses. He slides on the other one. All of them are going to be which type of tumeh? Ava tumeh, kamoyu. And that's the chiddush by a tumah zav. Now, our mishnah comes with the chiddush. Now this agolo, this buggy, what's really for, as we said, lischoik, right? As Rashi said, lischoik for a game for the cotton. it's also considered a Mokom Moishav. It's not like a Eglas Choik Be'alme. And that's why if the small boy is sitting on it when he is a Zav, or if he's leaning on it when he's a Zav, he's Metam. Because when Metas, we know the time is 5 different things, right? Nitlo, Yoshav, Nishkav, Nishan, all of these things, if he's leaning on it, hanging on it, lying on it, sitting on it, one of these cases is still coming Tome to Masav. So let's see it again in the Mishnah. Agolo, sorry. Agolo shel cotton, Temeyo medras, Veniteles b'Shabbos. Why? Because this is like a theme of any other kli, and that's what's the chiddush. The chiddush is that we don't say that it's not a kli because it's made only for a game for a cotton, and it's going to become also. It's going to become also because the gzeiras, we know that Chacham came and made a gzeira in the times of Nehemiah, right? We spoke about it in the Dagdom Perek, and we spoke about it in the Gemara in Shabbos Avkuf Chov Gimel with base. That anything that's not a kli shemlachto leter in Shabbos is also to come with the carry, and that's the chiddush over here. It's not called a kli shemlachto leisur. Ve'eino nigreres elo al gabi kelim. That means in Shabbos you cannot come and be goyred to come and to schlep it on a karka that it shouldn't do over there. Is we know about a charitz, right? And if you come and you schlep something, a heavy bench on, as we can see in the Gemara, on the karka on Shabbos, it's going to be high because choyresh over here. Ve'eino nigreres elo al gabi kelim. That means what means kelim? If you put clothes on the karka, if you put a carpet on the karka, and if you put something on the karka that shouldn't make a charitz, then it's going to be mutar. Rabbi Doimer, kol hakelim ein nigrin. That means not a agolo, nothing, even not a bench, if we're talking about, yeah? Even not a bench, you can come and be goyre al gabi karka. Why? Because it might come and do a charitz by coming and schlepping it. Chutz mina agolo, that you're allowed to come and to be goyre al gabi karka, that means it's not going to come and do a charitz. It comes, it's not moving the soil to one side to the other one like a charitz. It's coming and pushing it down, and this is chise and not charisha. That means it comes and pushes it in. So Rashi, agolo shekodesh yoyis letzhoy ve'yoshev lo metadi no yisrael lo tmei medras. Im atino igzav, nasa za agolo abatumet demiyuchedes leyeshiva. He the hosoy makot no leo nivte shemiyuchedes lo leyeshiva ve'eno yomrim lo yamoy v'nasa melachtenu de ilu lo yimeyach de lo ochel lo yhaves abatumet ketanya yochel kof oseo ve'yoshav lo. So what do we tell him? Seo means a box that he put inside the wheat. What did he tell him? You come up there. So he sat down on a box. You tell him, Slicha, get up. We have to. And that's why he's not Mekabel Tumas. And he tells B'Shabbos, Rashi, the Torah is clear, Leo. Bein Mekabel B'Shabbos, Elo Al-Gabi Kelim, Al-Gabi Begodi, Shois Charitz V'Karka, V'Choifer Chayav B'Shum Chodesh. Koiveshes Charitz Anira Be'Lochel, Lo Yalidei Chapirei, Elo Koiveshes V'Doireses HaKarka, V'Not Doishtachteho, V'Nase Mekoimo Nomucha, V'Leino Izaz Offal. Mimekoimo, that's not called the Charisha. It's not plowing. This is just coming and crushing the tightening the karka, and that's going to be mutar on Shabbos. Explain the Gemara. What's the halacha of our Mishnah? Why? That means he's leaning on it. The cotton is leaning on it, and he's a zav, as we said. The cotton. When he tells b'Shabbos, mishum deike toiras kli oleo. It's not the gzeira of muktzeh. Ve'eino nigreres elo al gabi kelim. Says the Gemara, let's be medayek. Al gabi kelim in. Davka al gabi kelim you're allowed to come and to be goyeret. Over al gabi karka loy. Right? Al gabi karka you cannot come and be goyeret. Like my time. Why al gabi karka not? Why only if you have the kelim you're allowed to come and to be goyeret? Says the Gemara, you know why? Because mishum the oise, because he's doing over there the ko'ovid charitz. Even though he doesn't have a kavone, but lemaise. And this is famous machloike, the classic case of the machloike Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon. Money. Says the Gemara, Mishel lefi Rav Geitos. Rabbi Yehuda, the Omar, Dover sheim miskaven also. Why? The Rabbi Shimon, Omar Dover sheim miskaven muter. The Tanya, Rabbi Shimon Oimer, Goyrer Odo Mitok Kise Vesavsol. That means a person can come and schlepp it al gabi karka and Shabbos. Ubilvad shelo iskaven lasos foretz. So what do we see over here? The machloikes, right? As we explained already before, right? We learned at the Nomen Aleph, the machloikes. Dover sheim miskaven is muter or not? The Gemara Bazoi, the ratio of our Mishnah is Rabbi Yehuda, Eim Sefer. If our Mishnah is Rabbi Yehuda, let's look at the Sefer. Rabbi Yehuda Oimer, Ein Akoin Ligorim b'Shabbos. That means because they do a charitz, and you're not allowed to do it because of choresh. Chutz mina agolo, that it doesn't have over there melocha because mipnei sheikoiveshes. Now let's be medayek because Rabbi Yehuda comes and tells us the Sefer mipnei sheikoiveshes in only because it does the kvisha, because it's coming in, right? It's better tightening the karka, and that's why it's going to be allowed. So what's mashma? Avol charitz loy avde. That means the agolo doesn't do a lefi Rabbi Yehuda. What we learned in the Reisha that our Misha goes to Rabbi Yehuda, we are medaying that what you know allowed to come the big goyrer the agolo and gavi karka. Why? Because it does a charitz. Is mashma that our Misha doesn't learn like Rabbi Yehuda. And for the Gemara, trei tanoe ve'alibe de Rabbi Yehuda. Trei tanoe ve'alibe de Rabbi Yehuda. That's what the Reisha the Sefer is two different tanoim who disagree in Rabbi Yehuda about coming and flipping of the diagolo. The Tana of the Reisha says that you have to ask the charitz. Why? Because sometimes the wheels of the diagolo doesn't go properly and it's actually koivesh, and it doesn't do the koivesh just what, it doesn't press the karka just what, it comes and goyre the karka. And the Tana of the Sefer says no, the wheels never do koivesh, it always does koivesh. Dr. Rashi. Asher charitz kasei koiveshes in koiveshes avol charitz loy avde. Trei tanoy v'alibed Rabbi Yehuda. Chad sovar agolo nami kishar keling dois charitz v'girosa shofar she'ino oifen misgalged. That means the oifen means the wheel. Misgalged v'nigra v'choifer v'idor sovar lo yishchiach ochel v'eino le koiveshes tachas gil gulo. And that's why it's always going to be hadron aloch yom tev. Emet Hashem tomorrow 10 to 10. We're going to start the new pair. Just a very short thing. Legabe. Oh, yeah. What do you want to ask? Rashi says legabe tmeo medres. Says Rashi, right? This is the miyuchedes atino exov nas agolo avatume. The miyuchedes liyeshiva. Miyuchedes liyeshiva. So Dr. Rashi, right? Why? The ho soimach kot oleo. Now the shaila over in Rashi is very shver. Because if it's miyuched liyeshiva, so why are we saying the ho soimach kot oleo? Even without soimach kot noleo, it's going to be also. Even it's meyuchad li yeshiva, right? But that's the lashon of the Gemara. If you look at the Gemara comes and says do somich. So Toises fragt take. If you look at Toises fragt that shakoshin yoyishe betoicho. V'lo inaire the Michael Marshall of Pshiter or in lecho kli godel mize. Why you have to come to say kot yoyishe v'lo? They fragt Toises. They got it too much matters. כך נראה דהיינו כלי שאויסי לקטני לאסלאם להלך ויועמדת השלוי שיפני ואויחס בו ביודו ויסגלגל לרפון of Tommy. I mean, Toises comments as a noob shot over it. You know these walkers, exactly. For the small boys, they buy them a walker. They want to come to give them a bit of to train them to walk. So they are leaning against it, right? And that's why it's going to be a thing. The Rashba learns it differently a little bit. The Rashba comes and says because it's made le schoik. So even though that sometimes he's sitting over there, it's not considered is a moishav, and that's why we don't need the reason of it smiche. And he proves it from a sfina. The sfina not mitame medres, even though you're sitting on it. So it's not always coming and being depends one on the other one. Fine. Okay. Yes, we have to move it. Yeah. Fine. Fine.
Moed,